was going great for the first 3 hours. I thought it was very entertaining for the first 3 hours, and very, very fun. You got to give credit to Steven Soderbergh, who was one of the primary producers, executive producers on this show. I don't know what I expected this year's Oscars to look like. I kind of stayed away from a lot of speculation. I knew it wasn't going to be a Zoom affair, and I really wanted to be surprised, and I ultimately was. That's an interesting setting they used.
That
it's
is, yeah.
really
setting. And not filter, but it's the
Color
thing that
scheme.
makes a movie look like a movie, which if you see it, you immediately know.
Yes, it's almost got like that soap opera smoothness to it in a way. Not as explicit, not as like graphic, but like the cinematic lens they used for it. It looked good, and it also felt loose and casual. Instead of an auditorium, they were all the nominees, the actors, the directors, producers, they were all positioned at like different tables, different sort of like, semi-sphere or semicircle tables. So it felt casual.
It actually felt like a show compared to a ceremony. Like everybody would, like, we were sitting at these booths in like groups of 4 or 3, and like the host was like, well, it wasn't technically a host, but like they had actors and actresses walking around with a microphone, like interviewing people, actually like just doing fun stuff with them, playing trivia, like talking to them one-on-one. And it was just like, this is way more laid back and casual than I think was needed for the longest time for the Oscars. Like the way this was handled, I don't know if it was Soderbergh or like just finally somebody said, enough is enough. We need to get this back on track. What do people want? And it's just like, the whole idea of no hosts, I think they actually first started when I actually joined Sleepless with Steve, back when this was on air. And Steve and I were talking about this, about how stupid it was. And then like the night, of course, we watch it, he texts me, he's like, well, I don't know about you, but I actually think it works better without a host. I was like, actually, I feel the same. And ever since then, I'm glad they kept it like that, because yeah, it for a 3-hour show, it flies by. When there's not annoying skits to get to, the host has to come out and do their bit and everything. And whether the bit sucks or not, you kind of feel like, wow, I guess the host was the thing that made the show feel like it was dragging on. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy like just the approach that they took with this year's Oscars. And I don't know if it's going to be like that after all of this, like after the COVID-19 pandemic and like the measurements we gotta take with how many people can be in a building. I don't know if it'll be like that, but honestly, I think this is for the better, and I would just go with something similar like this for the future.
I think next year they're going to go back to the Dolby Theater. I think Cranston said that during that big montage for the MFTP.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he said that next year we'll be back because he was in the Dolby Theater by himself and the camera crew. I think they're going to go back to that. I will say though, you know what? If I wonder what they're going to do, because going back to Joe's point, I'll let Dom jump in too before we seg. I'll say this though, like, the Oscars, the big thing with the Oscars, and the producers have said this for the last several years, is they want to get it to like 3 hours and 10 minutes, which has never happened. It's always run late. It's consistently run late, even without a host. I mean, this was 3 hours and 20 minutes or so. Like, they have to kind of accept that it's going to run late. It's going to be about 3.5 hours ordinarily. I wouldn't mind a host coming back. And if I made a suggestion, I sent this to you in the group chat, get Laurel Howery and Daniel Kaluuya next year. Get them two to host this thing. Them two are great. They did that skit together with the Guess the Song, if it was nominated for Best Song or not. Yeah. Those two are funny. And I want a movie with those two again, and I would love to see them host the Oscars.
Yeah, just the quick references to Get Out between the two of them like made me crack up. And then also just, like the chemistry that they have. It's like, damn, like, we could definitely do a whole movie with these two. Like, the little snippet that we got at Get Out really didn't make me see that until we eventually saw them standing next to each other at the Oscars.
Yeah, Laurel is the superior version of Kevin Hart. I'll say that. Moving on. Tom.
In terms of hosting duties, you're absolutely right. But yeah, dude, I appreciated it. Gone are the days that Seth MacFarlane does like, a 30-minute intro to the Oscars or whatever, or Jimmy Kimmel does his usual bit, right? His usual like 3 bits that he has. I don't know, but I thought it went fine. It moved along quite nicely, and I did kind of appreciate actually minus when they did like, I think the actor and actress best actress award. I think they like did a little blurb introducing each nominee. I think. Right.
Yes.
Which is like, I kind of appreciate that for the technical awards, at least, no one gives a shit about the technical awards. Right. No, but they actually took the time to give them at least, a couple sentences and like, giving them their just due. Cause this, I mean, they know what they signed up for, right? Costume design. This is the biggest night of their lives, probably. Or at least in terms of awards or recognition. So that's fine. But, I appreciated that. And like spreading out hosting and presenting duties amongst all the various stars and actors. So kind of like, low pressure really for them, except when they have their little, their award to present, which, a lot of awards have done, but I just appreciate that approach. But yeah, I watched it with my parents and my dad was like, Union Station in LA really isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's more well known than Union Station in Chicago, but Union Station in Chicago is much better. And of course, bias, home territory. But I kind of agree with him. And it's like, damn, Untouchables really did make it look good. But I don't know.
Another credit to Chicago.
Exactly. But yeah, dude. As to bring it back to the Dolby Theater, I don't really care. The Academy Awards I think they've been through like 7 different locations. So it's been a Dolby Theater the longest, but it's not a set in stone that it has to be. So whatever it is, I also commend Soderbergh for, nothing really crazy happened. No big skit or sketch to really talk about.
Actually,
honestly, to me, that's a good thing.
It's
all in the awards.
The biggest change, and I don't know if it was Soderbergh who suggested this or anybody, but I really love the idea of them playing trailers for upcoming movies, like new trailers during the Oscars. This has been something I've been saying for like years. It's like I watch the Game Awards, and that is something they do. Big upcoming games or big announcements, they keep it until the Oscars show up. Not the Oscars, the Game Awards show up, and then they'll just play a trailer in between the awards. And what that does is it helps for people who don't give a damn about who wins, except maybe for Best Actor, Best Actress, or Best Picture. Like, they might just care about those big 3 categories. What it does, it gives them something to look forward to when they're watching the Oscars. It's like, I might see the upcoming Spielberg movie like you did that night with West Side Story, which was the first trailer we've seen of that. Dom's cat is entering the conversation.
Sorry, the dog's at the house, so she has to be in here.
No, you're good, man. I was like, what the hell is that to the right? I would love if they continue that tradition. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like big budget, like blockbuster movies, but like if they want to keep it to like musicals or like, dramas, or even if they want to incorporate the blockbusters, I'm all for that. I understand like they want to probably save that stuff for the Super Bowl. But, like, this is another chance to show off some of that stuff when you can't do it at the Super Bowl because either your film's not that big, like an A24 trailer, that would be perfect for the Oscars. Anybody who's watching that probably enjoys A24.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can't believe that they let the Super Bowl, I know there's more eyeballs, but I can't believe they let the Super Bowl for that route. When you think for, like, at least for these mid-major movies, or even like an A24 thing, you think that this would be an opportune time. Certainly not as expensive to run an ad as the Super Bowl is. You think that it would be an opportune time.
Streaming, too, who, like, has movies, like, when they release a trailer, that movie's, like, going to be out within the next month. It's like, what's our big movie that we're having coming out during the summer on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon? Oh, screw it. We'll throw the trailer right into the Oscars, which is in February usually, or I don't know if they're going to keep this April date.
Yo, no joke. The previous Oscars, if they ran a trailer for documentary Crip Camp, A Disability Revolution, like in the middle of the Oscars, would be like, yo, that sounds interesting, because no one gives a shit about that. No one gives a shit about documentaries outside of the Oscars. Yeah. So... or maybe like random YouTube stumbling upon.
Imagine actually seeing like Class Action Park's trailer like at the Oscars. You're like, oh, that looks cool. I gotta watch that.
I'm gonna disagree with that though. How many times have your coworkers told you about what documentary they randomly watched on Netflix? People watch documentaries now, especially with the accessibility of them.
That is true.
But like when it comes to like the documentary shorts and stuff like that, or like the stuff really nobody sees, like the documentary shorts, the live action shorts, or the animated shorts, aka the categories you go to mix yourself a snack. Like, why not advertise the fact that like the winning short, If Anything Happens, I Love You, is available on Netflix? I don't know why they don't promote these things.